My agent signed me up for a dating reality show. My ex-boyfriend was booked for the same program. Talk about running into a nemesis. Xian, stop provoking me. I smiled and turned to flirt with a cute young actor. That same night, my ex showed up at my door, begging to get back together. My ex, a pretty boy like him, can't keep up with me. When the dating show launched, the production team asked everyone to post a promotional message on Weibo. I wrote, "A good dog doesn't block the way." Xian only posted a picture of a golden retriever. I scoffed. That golden retriever dated back 2 years. On our way home from our first date, we found it abandoned by its owner. We asked the original owner, who said the dog was too naughty and he was moving, so he couldn't keep it. The golden retriever was only a few months old, looking up at me pitifully. On an impulse, I convinced Xian to adopt it with me. During our 2-year relationship, the dog stuck to me all the time, making Xian jealous for no reason. He even posted about it online. Netizens joked that the golden retriever was a terrible dog. Xian agreed. After we broke up, I didn't take the dog with me. I had no idea if it was still alive. On the first day of filming, everyone arrived on time except Xian, who sauntered in last. The whole crew was waiting for him. Assistant director Zhu Desyuang rushed over eagerly when he saw Xian. "Brother Yan, did you oversleep?" Xian looked furious, dragging a black suitcase. His eyes flicked over me. I had to switch flights and then take a 3-hour coach. Zhu Desyuang was shocked. "What? I arranged a private flight for you." Xian's gaze landed on me again. "Yeah, who could be so mean?" I raised an eyebrow. "Who else?" "Me, of course." ID accidentally leaked a little of his schedule to fans and told his agent that a stalker fan knew his whereabouts. Naturally, his agent made Xian take a detour. Stalker fans were the worst. Even slow-witted Zhu Desyuang got the message. He and Xian grew up in the same neighborhood, so he immediately realized someone was messing with him. I casually took out a mirror and glanced at Xian through it. He was wearing a white shirt and black trousers, his hair casually styled. His deep, attractive eyes still had that charm. His features were neither overbearing nor soft, yet he carried an air of noble elegance you rarely saw in the entertainment industry. He was exactly my type. The first time I saw him, I chased him hard. We'd both just entered the industry at 18, filming while finishing our studies. I later found out he was the heartthrob from the neighboring King University. I chased him for a month. He probably couldn't stand it anymore and finally agreed to go out with me. When we made it official, Weibo crashed. Congratulatory messages flooded the screen. We never argued in those 2 years. Just when everyone thought we'd get married, we started fighting non-stop on set, during script readings at home. Even the director didn't dare intervene. In the end, our breakup was public and ugly. We'd been sickly sweet together. After splitting up, we tore each other apart. I went abroad for 2 years, then returned for another 2. The entertainment circle wasn't that big, and Tang City was even smaller. Yet we never ran into each other, as if by unspoken agreement. My agent never arranged for us to meet. Zhu Desyuang noticed a tense silence and quickly introduced everyone to Xian. There were 8 of us. Besides Xian and me, there were 2 rising actors, Qin Ming and Zhu Chengxi, Gu Ci, who just won Best Supporting Actor, and 3 young female trainees, Chu Manman, Zhang Saran, and Kiki. When it got to me, Zhu Desyuang didn't know how to introduce us. He froze. After all, he had no experience introducing EXCs. I put my mirror away, smiling sweetly with my arms folded, staring at Xian. "Oh, you're still alive? I thought the grass on your grave was already waist high." Zhu Desyuang, everyone, please, for God's sake, stop talking. Xian didn't hold back either. "Yeah, I went to your place several times and no one was home." "Did you move your grave?" "Obviously. Lucky I moved it. Otherwise you would have dug it up, wouldn't you? When gods fight, mortals stay out of the way." Zhu Desyuang quietly backed away. Xian was choked into silence, glaring at me through gritted teeth. "Jiang Qiyue, you're still as annoying as ever." I shrugged helplessly. "Takes one to know one." I took the milk tea from my assistant, sipped it happily, and ignored Xian's frustrated expression. Xian's eyes darkened as he watched me bite the straw. He quickly looked away, as if nothing had happened. Soon the production team assigned the rooms. Zhu Desyuang eagerly helped Xian pull his luggage. He didn't have an assistant. While others enjoyed being waited on, he did everything himself. That came from his family background. He'd grown up in privilege, born into a military compound. His family worked in government. He was the only one who entered showbiz, so he couldn't afford a single scandal. I used to tease him about it, but that only made me fall harder for him. When the elevator stopped on our floor, my eyebrow twitched. When we saw our rooms were opposite each other, I cursed Zhu Dehyuang 100 times in my head. I gave him a friendly look and smiled. Well done. Zhu Dehyuang broke out in a cold sweat. The rooms were decided by votes, it wasn't his fault. He handed the luggage to Xian. I've got things to do. I'm off. I clicked my tongue and turned to open my door. My assistant was on the 5th floor. Once inside, I threw myself onto the bed and lay there like a corpse. Someone knocked. I ignored them. Only one person would bother me. After a while, the knocking stopped. I couldn't help but sigh. I never thought I'd be on a show with him again. I only agreed because his name wasn't on the original list. Somehow, he joined anyway. Our breakup had been extremely messy, so everyone who knew us made sure not to put us on the same show or project. Why did we split? I remember smashing everything we could break at home, tearing up our photos, packing my things to leave. He pinned me against the door, eyes red, voice hoarse. Are you really breaking up with me? Of course. I'm bored of you. Those words broke him completely. You were the one who wanted to be together, and you're the one ending it. Jiang Qiyue. What did you take me for? I laughed heartlessly. Fun. You didn't actually think I meant it, did you? He held back tears, his eyes bloodshot. Fine. We're broken up. Never see each other again. I didn't care. Great. Then forget me quickly. I'm going to find my next love. Then the door slammed. I only took one thing he'd given me, a necklace he'd designed himself, learned to make just for me. When he put it on me, he said he'd spent 3 months designing and making it. It symbolized forever with only each other. I'd called him childish, yet cried from happiness. My phone vibrated. I picked it up. An unknown number. Who is this? Opened the door. His voice was low and husky, incredibly attractive. Not happening. I'm allergic to dog fur, meaning he was the dog. Xian's voice turned cold. Then give me back the necklace. It was meant for my future wife. What are you doing with it? I sat up. He had a girlfriend? I hadn't heard anything. You're going to give your girlfriend a necklace engraved with your ex's name? How big does her heart have to be to wear that? He snorted. You might not know this. I can just polish the name off and change it. Brilliant. Wait here. My heart ached against my will. I hung up, took the necklace off my neck. It still held my body heat. I took a deep breath and walked to open the door. Xian stood there, looking perfectly respectable, raising an eyebrow. Finally willing to open up? I threw the necklace at him. Didn't take you for such a cheapskate. Polishing off a name that's just tacky. Family's running out of money. Gotta save where I can. I sneered, not buying it for a second. Then I wish you and your old dog a long and happy life. I slammed the door shut. Xian held the necklace, veins popping on his hand, eyes lowered, lost in thought. A long while later, he went back to his own room. Still furious, I texted him. We have nothing to do with each other now. Stay as far away from me as possible during the show. On the other side, Xian stared at the message, his obsession bordering on madness. He whispered to himself, no chance. When the show started airing, the director said we'd pick partners by drawing lots on the first day. When I saw the 2 words on my slip, my temple throbbed. Just my luck. I secretly glanced at the female guest next to me, Chu Manmen's slip. I smiled at her. Wanna swap? Chu Manmen was about to nod when a cold glare cut straight at her. She looked up and nearly jumped. He looked scarier than a ghost. She immediately shook her head. I think Gu Xi is great. I'll stay with him. I pouted. Coward. Our first task as a couple was to buy groceries and cook together. I followed Xian with an unpleasant expression, cameras recording our every move. Annoyed, I leaned close to him while he was picking lettuce. Did you do this on purpose? Xian paused, holding the lettuce. His tone was cold. On purpose for what? He picked up a spring onion. On purpose, bribing the crew to be paired with me. I swear your name wasn't on the guest list. He sighed softly. Do you really hate being paired with me that much? I opened my mouth, speechless. Xian added, I'm a special guest. I wasn't on the list. Fine. Whatever you say, since you're the big shot. At the seafood section, I hesitated between prawns and crabs. I wanted both, but didn't want to prepare either. Prawns pricked your hands, crabs hurt your mouth and had little meat. Too much hassle. I was that kind of girl, useless in the kitchen, but crazy about food. In the end, we bought both. Naturally, Xian was the one who insisted. Just so you know, I can't cook. Don't expect me to help. The show was live. My fussy attitude and quiet complaints while shopping already had netizens annoyed. Netizen 1. What's going on? Why did they pair this person with my idol? Netizen 2. Jiang Qiyue. Get lost. Let my idol shine alone. Netizen 3. Am I the only one finding this weird? I think she's actually cute. Netizen 4. These two are definitely hiding something. Netizen 5. Same. The way he looks at her is not innocent. During the cooking segment, everyone tried to impress except me, who was casually looking around. The director kept hinting for me to help. I pulled a face, picked up a knife, and started chopping potatoes. I might not have cooked, but I'd seen it done. Just as I was about to chop proudly, Xian suddenly grabbed the knife from my hand. How dare he take the knife from me? I glared at him. What? Gonna stab me in broad daylight? Xian sighed, almost regretful. I was just afraid you'd ruin the potatoes. I glanced at the cameraman and held back. I picked up some vegetables to wash, but before I could start, a worm caught my eye. I swallowed, pretending to clear my throat. We don't have any salt. I'll go borrow some. I darted away. Xian's chopping paused as he watched me bounce over to Guxi's group. Chu Manmen and Guxi worked well together when washing, one frying fish. I clapped exaggeratedly. Guxi, I didn't know you could cook. Guxi smiled, playing along. Can't marry a wife without some skills, right? Smells amazing. Can I have some later? Opposite us, Xian's potato strips accidentally turned into potato chunks. I glanced over, ignored it, and kept talking to Guxi. By the way, that cushion you gave me last time, the herbal smell is fading. Next time. Before I could finish, a prawn flew over. Xian spoke flatly. Sorry, slipped. I rolled my eyes. Clumsy. Not even as good as Guxi. Guxi. Thanks. Offended. Have you forgotten you're on my team? Xian's tone suddenly turned cold, staring straight at me. Irritation was pouring out of his eyes. Fine, fine. I mumbled as I walked back. As if I even want you around, a prawn's head was snapped off. Xian froze, looking down. After a long moment, you didn't say that when you were chasing me. Not the same thing. I had bad taste back then. Xian glanced at Guxi, annoyed. Your taste is even worse now. I took a deep breath. Don't argue with a dog. To be fair, Xian was an amazing cook. Spicy and sour potato shreds, spicy prawns, steamed hairy crabs, boiled cabbage, fish soup. Every dish made my mouth water. That went back 2 years. I couldn't cook. And neither could he. Takeout every day wasn't healthy. Once I ate something bad and got a terrible stomachache. Xian decided then to learn to cook. That was how he got so good. Sigh. I wondered which lucky girl would benefit from that in the future. After a busy morning, mostly just Xian, we finally ate. The 4 couples sat around one table, enjoying their food. I only picked vegetables and drank fish soup. I glanced at the prawns and crabs, then at Xian. Cheapskate. He definitely wouldn't peel them for me. I was about to get up and ask Guxi for food when Xian secretly pressed my leg down. He warned me, sit properly. Xian, honestly. My sudden serious tone made him turn. I continued. You're super. Xian slowly placed a peeled prawn into my bowl. Lovely. For food, I'd endure anything. A faint smile appeared in Xian's eyes as he kept peeling prawns for me. The atmosphere was strangely harmonious. The director quietly asked Zudis Huang, it's a shame these two broke up. Look how well they get along. Zudis Huang sighed deeply. Yeah, Xian had spoiled Jiang Qiyue rotten. He still didn't understand why she'd left him. Probably Xian didn't know either. I happily ate the prawns Xian gave me, then pointed arrogantly at the plate of crabs. I want those too. Most of the prawns and crabs ended up in my stomach. Xian somehow produced a bowl of ginger water. I pinched my nose, disgusted. I'm not drinking that. Xian took it away, still patient. Fine. Don't expect any more seafood. I'll drink it. I immediately grabbed him, frowning at the soup. After cursing Xian 100 times in my head, I pinched my nose and drank it. I loved spicy food, but I always refused spicy things like ginger soup. I guess he'd figured me out when we were together. Xian had me wrapped around his finger, and I still had trauma from it. That night, I checked Weibo. The comments were all shipping Xian and me. I frowned. What were they looking at? We'd broken up years ago. He'd even taken back the token of our love. I was still angry when I opened a fan-edited clip. It was a short segment from dinner. I ordered Xian around without lifting a finger. And he didn't get mad at all, just looked at me with helpless fondness, indulging my spoiled behavior. His gaze was so gentle it could melt through the screen. The netizens' comments were explosive. This isn't how EXCs act. They're still clearly in love. His eyes are so soft. I'm gone. Sis, look. This user tagged me. I'm begging you to get back together on behalf of 10,086 netizens. Me too, on behalf of the whole country. Thank God for this show. I've seen his gentle side now. The more I watched, the more my heart raced. The screen was full of reunion requests, and the way Xian looked at me in the video. But he had a girlfriend, didn't he? He'd taken back our promise necklace. Why was he leading everyone on? I closed my eyes. Hold on, Jiang Qiyue. Before bed, I opened a drawer, took out a box of pills and swallowed a few. The next day, per the show's rules, the female guests had to wake up early and make breakfast for the male guests. The camera crew knocked at 6. I just buried my head and slept. I didn't show up until 7:30. I was exhausted, all because of that fan edit. I barely slept. I appeared on camera with no makeup, just casual loungewear, not caring about the audience or the crew. Netizens lost their minds. Sis is so pretty. My goddess without makeup. Her bare face is incredible. I love her. I rested my face on one hand, half asleep. What breakfast am I supposed to make? Zhu Huang opened his mouth, then watched as Xian placed a freshly cooked Chinese breakfast in front of me. Everyone else, girl makes boy breakfast. Him? The other way around. The whole internet was fed. I didn't react at first, thinking we were still together. Oh, it's ready? I lazily looked at the food, then frowned. Xian, are you crazy? I told you I hate carrots. Xian didn't change his expression. He spooned a bowl of porridge for me. Being picky isn't good. I pushed a bowl away, picked them out first. Only then did I remember. We were filming a show. We'd been broken up for years. Something inside me hurt. I picked up the bowl calmly. Sorry. Xian stared at me, trying to read my face. I felt guilty. Truthfully, over the years, I'd slowly gotten over being picky. But seeing Xian, I couldn't help remembering the good old days. Xian had been truly good to me. He might not have liked me at first. I'd acted like a stalker back then. But later he treated me well, learned to cook for me, remembered my menstrual cycle. All those little, romantic things made me fall for his entire personality, not just his looks. Too bad I didn't deserve his kindness. I had no idea how much longer I'd live. In the afternoon, everyone played Truth or Dare. The questions were from the production team. The bottle pointed at me. I didn't hesitate. Truth. Guxia held the question card, looking awkward, hesitant to speak. What? Stop being a wimp. I can take it. Guxia looked at me sympathetically. How long was your first kiss? Oh my God. What kind of question is that? I gritted my teeth. 7 minutes. That was all thanks to my shamelessness. Xian was too good looking. Not long after we started dating, I tried everything to seduce him, but he acted all cold and abstinent. Impossible to flirt with. I had no choice but to use my big move. I asked my agent to get me a script with a kissing scene, saying I needed to practice. I rushed to Xian's apartment. Just as I was reading my lines dramatically, Xian's face turned black. He grabbed the script, read it with a dark expression, his eyes full of possessiveness. I suddenly felt nervous. The script included a 5-minute intimate scene between the male and female leads. Shh, should I turn the roll down? I stammered. Pull yourself together. Half an hour later, I left his apartment wearing a mask, eyes watery. I called my agent and told her to cancel the contract. There was a penalty fee, but I could afford it. I still remembered. After kissing me, Xian checked the time, his voice rough. 7 minutes. Satisfied? Satisfied. Beyond satisfied. Next round, I spun the bottle. It stopped centimeters from Xian. My eyes lit up. Please stop. It landed on Zhu Chengxi. I was disappointed. I rested my face on my hand and looked at him. He was good looking. Not as good as Xian, but still cute total pretty boy vibes. Zhu Chengxi looked shy. I choose Truth. I smiled. Do you have a girlfriend? His ears turned red, and not yet. After a few rounds, I noticed something. They kept intentionally pointing the bottle at me, and the questions were always about my relationship with Xian. Like, who was your first love? I wanted to lie, but couldn't think of anyone. I pouted. Xian, another. Where was your first date? I said I forgot. Have you ever thought about getting back together after breaking up? At the last question, I froze. Of course I had, but I lied anyway. No, Xian's face turned completely cold. Zhu Huang could tell Xian was about to explode. He quickly signaled for everyone to play normally. That night, The show organized a barbecue to relax. Everyone was more familiar now, chatting casually. I drank a bottle of red wine and felt slightly drunk. I rested my face and chatted with Chu Manmin. Chu Manmin loved good-looking people. She couldn't look away from me. Sister Qiyue, are you really not going to get back together with actor Shi? I wanted to, day and night. It hurt so badly, but I didn't dare. I was cowardly scared, because I was sick. I'm not going to hold him back. My voice was slow, with a faint sadness underneath. Chu Manmin didn't give up, but you're perfect together. You're both so good looking. Your kids would be beautiful. I looked down, smiling bitterly. I'd imagined that too. I'd daydreamed about what our kids would be named, whether they'd be boys or girls. But I'd heard him. I'd been back 2 years. I'd wanted to find him so many times, but every time I remembered how cruelly I'd spoken to him, I lost my nerve. I just pretended not to care. Fought with him instead. I finished my wine in one go. I'm a bit dizzy. I'm going back to my room. I stumbled back, opened the door, and didn't notice a hand stopping it from closing. From the corner of my eye, I saw the figure in the mirror. I spun around sharply. Why are you following me? Shi Yan took off his watch and placed it by the door. You're drunk. Bullshit. I only had 1 glass. 1 glass is enough for you. He raised an eyebrow and took off his jacket too. No one but Shi Yan knew I got drunk after 1 drink. After getting together with him, I barely touched alcohol unless he was there. Whatever. I ignored him, sat down on the sofa, and hugged my knees, staring blankly. Shi Yan sat next to me. He asked that question again. Why did you really break up with me back then? My eyes flickered. I turned to look at him. Oh, Shi Yan, you're here. Hug me. I held out my hands, looking at him pitifully. Shi Yan pulled me into his arms immediately, holding me so tight I had to beg him to loosen up a little. He still didn't let go. I snuggled comfortably around his waist, rubbing my face against him. I missed you so much. Why didn't you come find me? Shi Yan's eyes darkened. His voice was hoarse. You dumped me, remember? You're too good looking. I'd never dump you. You're lying. I started to feel wronged. You don't understand. It hurt so much. For so long. I kept taking medicine. But I missed you so badly. My tears soaked his shirt. Shi Yan helplessly lifted my face, gently wiping my tears. Then tell me, why are you taking medicine? I wouldn't say. Tears started pouring again. I looked at him accusingly. You don't kiss me anymore. You used to kiss me. You really want me to? His voice was incredibly low, dark desire hidden in his eyes, ready to burst out. If you don't love me. I kept throwing a tantrum. My lips were suddenly covered. He no longer held back. His possessiveness and obsession were laid bare. When I opened my eyes the next morning, I stared blankly at the man in front of me, then around the room. Yeah, my room. So, why was Shi Yan in my bed? What did I do last night? I moved. Ouch! My whole body ached. I looked at Shi Yan again. Oh my god, what had I done? I quietly grabbed my phone to ask for help. I texted my agent. I slept with my ex. What do I do? Help! ASAP. My agent replied instantly. How did you manage that? How should I know? All I remembered was drinking 1 glass and going back to my room. The rest was just my body acting on its own. He's still asleep. Should I run? Agent. Not recommended. Maybe just tell him the truth. Useless. I put my phone down, carefully lifted his hand to sneak away. He suddenly tightened his grip, pressing me against his chest. His voice rough. Be good. Sleep a little longer. Sleep my ass. 30 minutes later, we'd both washed up. I sat stiffly, staring at the sophisticated-looking man opposite me. His long, pale hand held a cup of freshly delivered coffee. I had a headache and only deserved hangover soup. I tried to speak. We're both adults. I think what happened last night should just stay between us. I don't plan on letting it stay between us. He stared at me. Aren't you going to take responsibility? I panicked. Take responsibility? For what? This is my room. Didn't she take advantage of me and sneak in? Then I'll take responsibility instead. I choked, deflated. I looked at him seriously. Shi Yan, I'm sorry I chased you back then. But it's been years. I've moved on. Why are you still stuck in the past? Can't you just move forward? His body stiffened. He suddenly looked at me. Voice icy. You regret it? I held back the ache in my chest. If you want to put it that way. I'm the bad one. I admit it. He stared at me for a long time, then laughed bitterly. Jiang Qiyue, you really have no heart. After he left, I kept taking deep breaths, telling myself not to cry, but the tears just poured out harder. I was completely defeated. I picked up my phone and called someone. They picked up immediately. I cried. What do? I really want to be with him. I rambled on and on. The person on the other end listened quietly. When I finished, they comforted me. Qiyue, let yourself go. Be brave and chase your happiness. I was distracted during filming that afternoon, glancing at Xiyan repeatedly. It was a wilderness survival challenge. Xiyan and I were in charge of starting the fire. Everyone else went to find ingredients for dinner. Several times I tried to talk to him, but his cold expression made me back down. I awkwardly helped gather firewood and watched him start a fire by rubbing sticks. I was surprised. You know wilderness survival? Xiyan paused, frowning, sounding annoyed. I planned a picnic with you once. Learned a bit. Oh. We did have that plan, but I broke up with him before we could go. I felt awkward and forced a smile. Soon, the others came back with ingredients. I looked at Gu Xi pleadingly. He understood immediately. I don't think we have enough firewood. Qiyue, want to come with me to get some more? I nodded eagerly. Yes, let's go. Before leaving, I sneaked a look at Xiyan. Damn it, no reaction at all. We were supposed to be gathering firewood, but I was just messing around. Gu Xi watched me make a fool of myself, half smiling. You're just being too sensitive. He already gave in. You could have fixed things this morning, but you waited until he left to regret it. I was frustrated and helpless. I thought I could be as heartless as before. Besides, I treated him terribly back then. Who knows if he still holds a grudge? What if he brings it up every time we fight? Gu Xi crouched down, tied a bundle of wood with rope. Your firewood's ready. I squatted next to him. Do you think if I tease him a little more, he'll get jealous and obsessed with me again? Then I can take the chance to fix things. Gu Xi thought seriously. Not a bad plan. Great, then you're in on it. Gu Xi. I'd met Gu Xi for years ago. His mother was my doctor, treating my illness. When she found out I was an actress, we grew close, and I met Gu Xi. His mother once tried to set us up, but I refused. We became good friends instead. Not many people knew about it. To make Xiyan jealous and claim me, I interacted with Gu Xi all afternoon, ignoring Xiyan completely. If his face wasn't turning blacker by the second, I would have thought he'd been reprogrammed to not care about me. But he still acted cold when I spoke to him. I gritted my teeth. I needed to go all in. Oh, brother Gu Xi, I remember you can read palms. Read mine, please. My sweet, coquettish voice shocked everyone. Zuda's Huang covered his face. Sis, can't you see how dark Xian's face is? It was like pulling hair from a tiger's head. Suicidal. Gu Xi froze. Since when could he read palms? Hurry, brother Gu Xi, do something. I glared at him. My face was already stiff. When had I ever called anyone that? This was humiliating. A sharp, icy glare shot at Gu Xi. He sat up straight immediately. He hesitated about running away, but my threatening stare stopped him. He had to make something up. I smiled, eyes squinted. Gu. Before I could finish, a strong force pulled me back. It was so rough my hand hurt. Xiyan practically lifted me like a chick, dragging me away furiously. Even the camera crew didn't dare follow. He took me to a quiet corner, trapping me with his arms on either side. His dark eyes were full of anger and obsession. Jiang Qiyue, is this fun to you? I flinched. It was okay. Veins popped on his arms, showing how furious he was. He snapped at me. Do you like guys like Gu Xi? I opened my mouth. Under his icy stare, I whispered softly. Who do you think I like? He laughed bitterly, eyes full of mockery. Jiang Qiyue, don't you remember what you said this morning? That was why I didn't have the courage to tell him the truth. My downcast eyes made him think I was agreeing. He punched a wall in anger. I don't care if you flirt with other people. But can you? He paused, lost and defeated, his voice dropping. Can you not do it in front of me? Please. I bit my lip, looking at him firmly. Xiyan, if I told you everything I said this morning was a lie, would you believe me? What? Trying to trick me again? I panicked. I didn't. I swear. The breakup too, I lied to you. I was sick. I didn't know if I'd live. I went abroad for treatment. He lowered his hands. Blood dripped from his knuckles. He seemed to be considering whether I was telling the truth. Jiang Qiyue, when you went abroad, I checked on you. Dating, traveling, that was all you did. The anger in his eyes faded, replaced by disappointment and coldness. He left. I crouched in the corner, trembling. A chill ran through me. He didn't believe me. He believed the fake image I'd created to stop fans from taking photos of me during chemotherapy. I'd taken lots of pictures after shaving my head, had them edited, posted them regularly. I even hired someone to pretend to date me, let people take photos and send them back to China, all to make Shi Yan give up completely. Back then, I thought, if I didn't make it, I wanted Shi Yan to live happily, not waste his life grieving for me. I returned to the hotel feeling defeated, not finishing the show. My phone kept ringing. I covered my ears and refused to answer. I was foolish to think Shi Yan would believe me. I crouched by the bed and didn't even notice it getting dark until knocking pulled me back to reality. I opened the door. Shi Yan's cheeks were pink, his eyes misty, a faint smell of alcohol on him. His deep dark eyes locked onto mine. Even drunk, his noble air didn't fade. He stepped forward and hugged me, his hot breath brushing my neck. I froze. You're drunk. I'll call Zudas Huang to take care of you. No, he sounded like a child. I only want you. Then let go first. I'll close the door. He didn't let go. He held me tighter and carried me inside. The door closed automatically. I was pressed against the wall. Suddenly, something warm wet my neck. I stiffened. He was crying? Shi Yan, are you okay? Jiang Qiyue, why did you break up with me? Is there anyone who could treat you better than me? Tell me, and I'll be better. Just don't leave me. Even if you're lying, keep lying. Just don't leave me. Please. My eyes filled with tears. I gently patted his back. I wasn't lying. 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Late stage. There wasn't proper treatment in China, so I had to go abroad. And late stage, you don't live long. Even if you recover, you could die any time. I had to leave you. I didn't want you to spend the rest of your life unhappy, but after I came back, I tried to find you so many times. You were always busy. I never got to see you. If it wasn't for this show, I probably would have died without ever seeing you again. And those things you found out? I had people take those photos on purpose, so if I died, you wouldn't be too sad. I explained between sobs. Shi Yan let go of me. It's my fault. I never went to find you myself. He pressed his forehead against mine, voice hoarse, lips almost touching. I'm never letting you go again. No, not here. This is the hallway. He didn't give me time to breathe. He kissed me deeply. On the 5th day of the show, the male guests drew lots. Coincidentally, rising actor Qin Ming picked me this time. Shi Yan watched me interact with Qin Ming with a dark face, his eyes practically burning. Everyone was more relaxed now, free to act naturally. I chatted with Qin Ming. I learned he was a musical actor, joining the show to show everyone his music. Someone asked him to perform. He picked up his guitar and played. I rested my face on my hand listening, remembering the endless pain of chemotherapy and the mountains of pills. Every time, I'd survived by clinging to the thought of Shi Yan. I was still staring dreamily at him when he finished. Later, when we needed ingredients, I wandered over to Shi Yan. We don't have any ginger. Can I have some? Shi Yan snapped. None. All used up. I stared at the plate of ginger in front of him in silence. Are you jealous? You just didn't have the luck to pick me. Why are you being so petty? Are you even a man? Shi Yan put down the vegetables he was chopping, speaking slowly. Am I a man? You knew better than anyone last night. My ears burned red, remembering the 2 times he'd pinned me in the hallway yesterday. Bastard. My waist still hurt. I secretly pinched his firm waist, then tried to run. He held me down and pulled me into his arms. I couldn't push him away. I stamped on his foot angrily. We're filming. Don't worry. They won't air this. I later found out why Shi Yan was so confident. He'd invested in the show. His whole goal was to win me back. That night, I checked the broadcast. Sure enough, that part was cut. I sighed. We'd gotten back together just like that. When I came out of the shower, someone was already on my bed. I leaned against the wall, tapped the glass. Sir, this is my room. Shi Yan just murmured, pulled me down, and held me. I poked his hard chest, smiling. Miss me that much? His breath was hot against my face, heart racing. Yeah, still can't believe you want me back. My expression changed. Heart aching. Shi Yan, I don't know how long I'll live. A year? 2 years? If I die, what will you do? No ifs. His tone was light and lazy, like he really didn't care. But I knew he'd fall apart. The first 7-day filming period ended. I posted a photo of Shi Yan and me. Shi Yan posted a picture of him putting the necklace back on me. He even asked his assistant to take it, just to show off. Weibo crashed for the 2nd time. A month later, we had our wedding. Official Weibo accounts send their blessings. Our wedding was live-streamed everywhere. Weibo crashed for the 3rd time. A year later, I gave birth to a boy. He was perfect, delicate features. We named him Shi Guangtime. 5 years later, my cancer spread. Shi Yan spent everything he had, but there was no cure. I held on in hospital for a year. In the end, he couldn't bear to see me suffer. He took me away to watch the sunrise. As the sun came up, I leaned in his arms and died with a smile. Shi Yan didn't cry or break down. He calmly arranged my funeral, comforted my family, and raised our son well. I became a ghost. I couldn't bear to leave Shi Yan, so I missed my chance to reincarnate. Shi Yan was a perfect father. Whenever Shi Guang almost went down the wrong path, he guided him correctly. When Shi Guang turned 18, Shi Yan made his will. He visited my parents one last time, said goodbye to his own. Everyone knew he'd been forcing himself to keep going. Everyone knew what he planned to do. His parents just cried silently. They didn't stop him. They knew Shi Yan was only a shell, living only so Shi Guang wouldn't lose both parents. Now he was 18, an adult. His duty was done. He was coming to find his beloved girl. When I saw Shi Yan, he was walking toward me down a long path full of flowers. Daisies bloomed all around. It was a warm spring day. He held a bouquet of roses, just like on our wedding day, nervous and earnest, walking toward me step by step. I smiled brightly, standing quietly, waiting for him. I knew he'd come for me, across mountains and seas. It was only a matter of time. I'd waited for him.